Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Log on to thepalmbeaches.tv to learn more.
On this episode of Wild Palm Beaches, we're going to find out what's new at the Palm Beach Zoo. As one of the biggest tourist attractions in Palm Beach County, the Palm Beach Zoo is all about conservation, education, and fun. The zoo's mission encourages people to act on behalf of wildlife and the natural world. It focuses on wildlife conservation, education, and recreation. Ecotourism is big business in Palm Beach County. From lions to loggerheads, our resident wildlife population is one of the things that makes the Palm Beaches a special place to visit. Aquatic adventures let you see our majestic sea turtles and tropical fish in living color, while our zoos, wildlife parks, and natural areas give you an up-close look at everything from rhinos to alligators. It is here that nature is on full display. It's like nowhere else in the world. As one of the largest counties east of the Mississippi, we have lots of room to explore the wild animal encounters that are seemingly endless in the Palm Beaches. Ever wished you could swim with dolphins or get up close to a manatee? In the Palm Beaches, you can. From the Florida Everglades and the Loxahatchee River to the Intracoastal Waterway and the Atlantic Ocean, take a walk on the wild side and discover the great outdoors in a tropical paradise. Join me, James Currie, as we discover the wild Palm Beaches. The Palm Beach Zoo features a variety of exhibits showcasing animals from different parts of the world. These exhibits are designed to provide visitors with an opportunity to learn about and appreciate the diversity of wildlife. So Callie, what have we got going on here?
So what we have here is we have Percy, our African crested porcupine, who is taking a walk with one of our zoologists, Michelle. So what he's going to be doing is actually walking right up here, up this ramp and onto the box in preparation for our gala that's coming up. He has been doing this for a really long time. He loves to go out and about and meet new people, and they're incredibly intelligent, so he's always trying new things and trying to learn new things.
There we go.
So you can see Michelle has been using some different communication tools to use to talk to Priscilla. So one of those is that target stick, which is the red and white buoy that she has there. And so that's allowed us to shape all sorts of different behaviors and teach him new things. So then that way we have opportunities to take him out and about like this.
African crested porcupines are amongst the largest rodent species in the world. They're certainly the largest in Africa, and they can live up to almost 30 years. So they're one of the most long-lived of all the rodent species. They're incredible animals. In my experiences in Africa, I've seen many a leopard and a lion come on the wrong side of a porcupine with drastic effects. These quills at the back here are incredibly dangerous and can inflict serious injuries on leopards and lions. And in fact, it's a misconception that porcupines actually shoot their quills. They don't do that. They rattle them, they give a warning, and then they back very quickly into the predator, spiking them with these very, very sharp quills. And they like to use the smaller quills right at the back. Those are the sturdy quills, and they'll get stuck in a leopard's paw, in its face, in its mouth sometimes. Leopards and lions have actually been killed by these incredible rodents. Is there anything else that you want to say about African crested porcupines?
I think I just love how intelligent they are. And one of my favorite things that I learned from getting to work with them here is that the males are actually really nurturing fathers. And so they spend a lot of time teaching the porcupets how to find food and how to play, and all of that comes from the dad's role.
Amazing. And what is the collective noun for a group of porcupines? There's got to be a cool name, right?
Cool name. Oh, I don't know what I know that the babies are called porcupets.
Can we call it a prick of porcupines?
A prickle of porcupines?
There
I think
we
that
go.
sounds like that should be what it is.
He seems to love corn, huh?
Corn on the cob is one of his favorite things. He'll take it in between his paws and he'll turn it so that way he gets every single kernel off of it. And this is the goal behavior. We want him to be able to hang out on the box and be really comfortable, and we can tell that he's comfortable right now because he is just closing his eyes and enjoying his corn. And also the way that the quills are laying tells us a lot about how he's feeling. He's in a pretty relaxed state right now because, as you know, when they want to, they can really flare up those quills, and that could be a sign that he's not comfortable. So looking at the quills, that lets us know, as his caretakers, that he's happy as can be right now.
And it's quite amazing to see him so active during the day. Tell us a little bit about the habits of African crested porcupines.
Typically, they are going to be more active at night, and we do know that our porcupines spend a lot of time overnight doing a lot of digging behaviors and foraging around the habitat. However, Percy loves to come out during the day as well. He's perfectly happy to just take naps during the day and come and hang out with us for snacks and playtime.
And they're quite different to the American porcupine that some of us might be familiar with, that occurs in Central America and South America. They're actually found predominantly in trees, and he's more terrestrial, right?
Exactly. So their quills are built a little bit differently. The North American porcupine's quills aren't as long and they're more all over the body, whereas for him it's really just the skirts and his tail of these really long quills, and that's just how he's adapted to being able to be on the ground and still be able to defend himself.
What a privilege to get up close and personal with one of the largest rodents in the world right here at the Palm Beach Zoo. Hi, buddy. There you go. Everybody likes a good nana.
Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Log on to thepalmbeaches.tv to learn more.
So who is this beautiful bird?
This beautiful bird is Darla. Darla is a bird called a southern ground hornbill. They're naturally found in South Africa. Darla is a 16-year-old female, and she is using that amazing beak of hers to pick up some yummy snacks.
She's absolutely fantastic. And there are two species of ground hornbill in the world. There's a northern ground hornbill and a southern ground hornbill, correct?
That's correct.
Look at those eyelashes. Wow.
Her eyelashes are fabulous. That is what helps her be able to sift through the dirt for insects and other items on the ground without getting all the dirt in her eyes.
And also probably protects it from thorns, right? Protects the eyes from thorns.
Absolutely.
And these are the largest of all the hornbills?
So this is the largest ground hornbill. There are larger species of hornbills that spend more time in the trees.
They're incredible birds, and seeing them in the wilds of Africa, it's quite amazing to see how social they are as well, because they live in little families, and often the brood or the youngsters of the dominant pair will help bring up the youngsters of the next generation. So they have this very cooperative social lifestyle, spending most of their time on the ground, like their name, ground hornbill, but then going up to the trees at night to roost away from danger from marauding hyenas and lions. The Palm Beach Zoo staff is saving animals in the wild. They are using their expertise and knowledge to protect wildlife around the world and in our very own community. At the zoo's new Everglades Center, guests travel to the Everglades and beyond. They learn how the zoo's staff and its partners dive into the ocean to help preserve coral reefs along the Palm Beach coast, look to the skies to save swallowtail kites, and put boots on the ground to protect panthers and other native species.
So the Florida panther is a great animal because everybody loves them, right? So in the 80s, there were only 20 left, and now there's over 200. Floridians love the Florida panther. But it's so much more important than that beautiful animal. It represents an ecosystem that was disappearing. We have this opportunity to bring it back. And in order to do that, these panthers need corridors to go to other protected, safe areas, to actually increase in their numbers even more so that we don't have to worry about them anymore.
In 2021, the Florida legislature passed the Florida Wildlife Corridor Act, based on the relentless work of National Geographic explorer and photographer Carlton Ward Jr. To make a Florida Wildlife Corridor a reality, Palm Beach Zoo staff played a key role by helping place and service wildlife trail cameras in the corridors, as well as fund a wildlife research position. This support helped provide panther movement mapping data and produced imagery featured in the highly acclaimed Path of the Panther documentary.
So the science of what panthers needed and still need has been around since the 70s and 80s. But we needed to be able to tell the story to a broad audience to get people caring about it, including the Florida legislature, which was amazing. The vote across the aisle, 100%, to recognize that the Florida Wildlife Corridor was needed for the Florida Panthers' existence was just an amazing thing. The role the Palm Beach Zoo played was to help Carlton Ward Jr. and the Path of the Panther literally capture the story of the animals by placing cameras out in the forest and the wetlands and the prairies where they were traveling through to capture images and video that no human sees, right? They capture it by placing these cameras that triggered by movement to tell the story of the real Florida panther.
The Palm Beach Zoo actively participates in conservation efforts to protect and preserve endangered species, collaborating with other zoos, organizations, and initiatives to contribute to global conservation goals.
So although our conservation efforts tend to really dig in to places from corals right off our coast to the Everglades, which essentially is where we are, our global initiatives are very important. The animals we have at the zoo are from all over the world, and committing to them in the wild is very important to us. We can't just sit here and have these very rare or endangered animals and not partner with people in the field to help ensure that they exist in their habitats forever. The Palm Beach Zoo really cares about our community, the wildlife we have here, the opportunity to do the right thing. But we also have animals from around the world, and some of these animals are in danger of disappearing.
The zoo provides support for the global wildlife community with conservation efforts in Africa for the Somali giraffe and species like serval and African crested porcupines, and by helping in Central America, protecting animals like the jaguar. It's not every day that one gets to walk with flamingos, just one of the really exciting activities here at the Palm Beach Zoo. Wild flamingos sadly disappeared from Florida in the early 1900s, but recently these beautiful pink birds have made a remarkable comeback, returning to Florida on their own right here in the Palm Beaches. Floridians should be proud to have brought flamingos back by protecting wild spaces. So Callie, these are Chilean flamingos, right?
That's right.
And when we feed them, we feed it lower to the ground like this, right?
Yeah, it's easier for them to be able to pull it up with their beak. They're filter feeders, and so they have this unique ability to sift through the water with their beaks and pull out the stuff that they want. And having it lower helps them be able to drink it.
And how many species of flamingo do you have at the zoo?
So we have two species here at the zoo. We have Chilean flamingos, which are they're smaller and they're lighter colored pink. And then we also have American flamingos, which are larger and more of a hot pink color. And what we want to celebrate about the American flamingos is that they are a flamingo species that is native to Florida, and they are making a comeback in population in Florida. So we're very excited about that.
The pink coloration on flamingos, that's due to the food that they eat, right?
Exactly. So the more that they eat, and it comes from some of the different crustaceans and small organisms that they'll eat and sift out of the water, and that gives them their pink color.
They're so beautiful. And they're very social birds.
Yes,
right? They like to hang out in flocks.
They thrive in large flocks. So anytime that we're taking them out on a walk, they want to hang out with us as if we're part of their flock, and so it's part of how we get to take them on flamingo parades.
I don't want this one to feel left out. Ooh.
Is that one? That one's Valentina.
Ooh, Valentina. So when flamingos are born, no matter what species, they're going to be born a grayish color. They look completely different as youngsters. And then they grow into these beautiful, beautiful pink birds. And it's really incredible to see the transition from the youngsters to the adults. And people that see them at the zoo might think that they are not very good flyers. But flamingos are exceptional flyers, and they'll migrate large distances to different salt lakes to go and feed. It's remarkable to see them in flight, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They are beautiful in flight.
Stay tuned for more from the wild Palm Beaches right here at the Palm Beach Zoo.
Good job, birds.
Good job.
Amazing.
We'll be right back with another conservation success story from the Palm Beach Zoo.
Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Log on to thepalmbeaches.tv to learn more.
The swallow-tailed kite is a bird of prey known for its distinctive appearance and its remarkable long-distance migrations. It is a bird that can be found every spring and summer in the Palm Beaches.
So the swallow-tailed kite is this beautiful raptor or bird of prey. It's 4-foot wingspan, a forked tail, just beautiful birds. And until you start looking for them, you do not see them. But Florida is the most important state for their existence.
These birds undertake extensive migrations between their breeding grounds in North America and their wintering grounds in South America. The migration route takes them from the southeastern United States, across Central America, and into parts of South America such as Brazil and Argentina. Swallow-tailed kites are known for their graceful flight and distinctive forked tail, which aids them in soaring and maneuvering through the air. The Palm Beach Zoo staff participates in tagging adult swallow-tailed kites in the Palm Beaches with solar telemetry, along with aerial roost counts for long-term monitoring of the North American breeding population.
They roost close together, they live in these big colonies right before they migrate, so we need to make sure all of those pieces of the environment are there. One of the things that helps us do that is technology. So working with Florida Power and Light and Avian Research Conservation Institute, we literally put these tiny little cell phones on their back that are powered by the sun. And when they fly by cell towers, literally makes a call and dumps some data so that we know where these birds are. So we know what forest to protect, we know what routes they take, we know when their favorite fields of food may be encroached upon or endangered. So if we can get ahead of the game, know where these birds are and monitor them, we can ensure that they'll be here forever. So the Palm Beach Zoo and Conservation Society is really a treasure for not just the immediate community here, but really a lot of South Florida. It's a place where you can bring your friends and family to start to be immersed in nature. We hope that you fall in love with what we have here just a little bit more and get interested in the actual real wild world and join us to help save it.
The Palm Beach Zoo is a must-see attraction in Palm Beach County, Florida, and they're playing a massive role in preserving our very own wild Palm Beaches. Coming up next, a local landscape painter shows us the art of nature right here in the wild Palm Beaches.
Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches. Log on to thepalmbeaches.tv to learn more.
Hi, I'm April Davis. I'm a landscape painter, and this is the art of nature. I've been a landscape painter all my life, painting over 40 years now. I have my master's in fine arts, and I've been in Florida about 26 years. And in Jupiter and this Juneau area, about 12, and I just love the landscape, the light. I love the beaches, the rivers, and I've always painted nature. I'm drawn to it, and it gives me an energy from up above, and I just love doing it. I always say we live in paradise. I mean, really, it is a tropical paradise. One of my most famous series is called Gateway to Paradise. It's from the Jupiter Inlet, so it's just gorgeous. The weather is beautiful, the skies are blue, and the water is like a teal, gorgeous teal blue, because we're right by the Gulf Stream, so it couldn't be more beautiful. Just a perfect source to paint. I mean, there's so many places to choose from, but I'll take hundreds of photographs, like shooting all around, take it back to my studio, and then I develop all the photographs, and I look and I kind of cut and paste a composition that I'd like to paint, and then I can kind of pick from different photographs and just put different birds or, you know, just boats or whatever the composition needs. I can't capture the beauty of the Palm Beaches exactly because it's so gorgeous, but I try to get as close as I can and try to imitate the light if I can.